Hello everybody, my name is Joel Porayko. I am a strength and conditioning coach from Calgary, Alberta. I am also a university student at Mount Royal University. I'm in my 4th year of my program. I've been working with Special Olympics for a few years now as a floor hockey coach. And I'm here today to bring you through your final week of the peak program. Week number 8. You've made it this far. Congratulations. You've put in a lot of hard work, effort, and sweat, and now it's time to bring it to a close with a final great workout. So be proud of yourselves for getting to this point, and let's finish strong. Today we're going to be doing a high intensity interval training workout, aka HIIT. We're going to be doing 45 seconds on and 15 seconds of rest in between each exercise. We're going to be doing 6 exercises and 2 rounds of all 6 exercises. So things that you're going to need today: other than a water bottle, you're gonna need something to time yourself, like a stopwatch or a cell phone or something like that. And you're going to need maybe a chair, like so, in case you have any mobility restrictions. And then just for our warm-up, you're gonna need maybe a broomstick. This is a PVC pipe, but if you got a broomstick, a hockey stick, or even a towel, that would work as well. But just for one of the warm-up exercises that we're going to be doing. I'm going to take you through a quick demonstration of all the exercises so that you know what to expect, and I can give you some modifications and some alterations that you can do, and just to get more specifics on how to perform the exercises. Some of them you might be familiar with, some of them you might not be, but just also pick the progression that's challenging enough for you and that you can do. And we're going to start off with a warm-up, then we'll get into the workout piece, and we'll do our balance challenges as well as our 1-minute mountain climber challenge to see how well we progressed in that aspect. And then we're going to bring it all to a close with the cool down. So let's do no further delay and get right after it. Okay, so for our first part of our warm-up, we're going to do our activation piece. We're going to start off with a exercise called bird dogs. We're going to be on the ground on all fours. So if you have really sensitive knees and you have a hard floor, you're going to want a cushion or a pillow or an exercise mat that you can stick underneath your knees so it doesn't get too bothered. We're going to start off, like I said, on all fours. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Bring your belly button in, carry as straight of the spine as you can, and you're going to press one leg back and reach your opposite arm forward. Keep your hips as level as you can. Bring your hand in and touch your knee. If you need to, you can place your hand on the floor to do a reset instead of the hand to the knee. Otherwise, continue on. We're going to go for another 5 seconds. And switch sides, 15 seconds, starting right now. Try to keep those hips as square as you can. Press the foot straight back behind you. And time. Next part of our exercise, we're going to be doing what's called a dead bug. Is very similar to the bird dog, except instead of being on all fours, you're going to be on your backside. So if you have very sensitive back, make sure you have something underneath it to make sure that it's not getting irritated very easily. I'm going to be on our backside, having our knees up in line with our hips. Make sure the lower back is flat against the floor, and then we're going to press our knee up into our hand, and then we're going to go opposite arm, opposite leg, extending. I'm going to do this for 15 seconds. Pressing that knee into the hand as we reach back. Let's do one more. And switch sides. Couple more. One more. That's good. This next part of our activation piece, we're going to be doing some work for our hips, and we're going to be lying on our side, doing a side lying leg raise. So you want to make sure that you're stacking your hips straight line from the top hip all the way to the bottom hip, supporting your head with your hand, and you're going to point your toes up towards your chest, and then you're going to lift your legs straight up, making sure that you're not opening up the hips so you can go really far. We want to make sure we're keeping good activation. Keep the toes not only pointing towards your chest, but slightly down towards the ground. And we're going to do this for 15 seconds. So just for about another 5. And that's good. And then we're going to switch sides. Same thing. Straight line all the way down from the top hip to bottom hip, pointing the toes toward the chest, and then slightly down, lift straight up. You feel a good squeeze in the butt, on the sides, on the outside of the hip. We'll do this for another 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and time. This next part of our activation piece is going to be for our back, and we're going to be lying down on our stomach. These are called prone W's. So we're going to be lying down almost like in a Superman position, but instead of arms straight in front of you, we're going to bring it into like a 90-90 position, and we're going to tuck our chin. Our feet can remain on the ground. All we're going to be doing here for 20 seconds is we're going to be bringing the arms straight back and then down. I'm going to squeeze between the shoulder blades and then down. We're going to do this for another 10 seconds. Squeeze and then down. Bring up, squeeze, and then down. Bring up, squeeze, and then down. All right, so this next part of our activation piece is going to be for our shoulders. We're going to be doing what's called a up, down, or walking plank. If you have really sensitive elbows, then you're going to want an exercise pad or mat underneath them so they don't get irritated very easily. So we're going to start down on our forearms and elbows and on our toes. And then from here, we're going to walk up, and then we're going to walk back down, and then we're going to switch what hand we started with. So I started with my left. So I'm going to go right, and then down, then left. And if you need to do this from your knees, you can. I'm going to do this for 5 more seconds. And good. All right, so our next part of our activation piece is going to be for our legs with an exercise you might be more familiar with, which are lunges. We're going to be doing a forward stepping lunge. If you have balance issues, then you can do what's called a split squat. You can do that with or without assistance from a chair. So I'll show you the split squat first. You're already in a lunging position, and then you go hands on your hips, and then you go straight down, vertical shin, knee stacked over top of the ankle, back knee underneath the hip, straight up and down, and you just do one side at a time. Again, with a chair, you look like this. So you have the support of the chair, and then you just hold onto the chair to help you with your balance. However, if you're able to do lunges, then this is what we're going to do. We're going to go 20 seconds, and we're going to go alternating sides. So hands on the hips, stepping forward, nice and vertical shin, push back, nice and tall. Make sure you keep your chest up. One more, and that's good. All right, so for this last part of our activation piece of our warm-up, we're going to be doing one more for our legs, and that's going to be called a side squat. It's going to be a wide stance, so a couple steps outside of your hips, and then you're going to be shifting your weight to one side while keeping one leg straight. Keep the chest up nice and tall and trying to sink your hip over top of your heel, and then coming back up to the top and switching sides. Now, again, if you have balance issues, you can bring the chair back. And you're gonna just shift to the side while holding onto the chair. Same thing to help you keep your balance. You don't need the chair. We're gonna just continue on. We're gonna do 20 seconds Starting now. Shift over to the side, stretch on this side. Stretch on the inside of the leg, nice and tall through the chest. Keep both feet flat on the ground, nice and tall. Hip over top of the heel. I'm gonna do 5 more seconds, nice and tall. Stretch. And that's good. So for the next part of our warm-up, we're gonna be doing our dynamic mobility piece. We're gonna start off on the all fours again, opening up through our hips. So we're gonna go hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Again, if you need something for your knees to make sure they don't get irritated easily, make sure you have something placed there. So from here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring the knee out to the side, and we're gonna circle back and around. We're gonna go 20 seconds this side. So we're worried about keeping the shoulders square, hips as square as you can. Don't worry about how high you get your knee. Just worry about just trying to keep everything nice and square as you draw a circle back and around with your knee. And then switch sides, 20 seconds. Trying to keep your pelvis tucked underneath, belly button pulled in, hands underneath the shoulders. 5 more seconds. 1 more, and that's good. This is where you want to grab your towel or your broomstick or your hockey stick, and what we're going to do is called Passover. You're going to basically grab it as wide as you need to bring this towel. We're going to go from our hips and we're going to bring it all the way behind us. Take it as far as you can to get a good stretch. You don't have to go and bring it all the way back behind you like so. However, if you can, great. You need to go a bit wider to do so, but also you can get a good stretch by just bringing it behind your head and just till you feel it in your shoulders and your chest and back and down. So you can go to here. We're gonna go 20 seconds starting now. If you can, you can go all the way behind you. You don't need a tight grip, just a loose grip. With the towel, you might have not as much range, so that's okay. Like just come just behind your head and then back down. 5 more seconds. 1 more. And that's good. So our next part of our warm-up, we're going to be doing some dynamic flexibility. We're going to start with our lower body, bringing our knee up into our chest and hugging it in, doing a standing knee hug. Working our balance a little bit. So if you have balance issues and you have problems with this one, you can lean up against the wall and do the same thing. Bring your knee up into your chest, squeeze and down, squeeze and down, squeeze and down. 20 seconds. I'm gonna come back to away from the wall. If you are on the wall, keep going. Do a couple more, 1 more, and that's good. So for our last piece of our dynamic flexibility, we're going to do what's called a side bend. Our feet are just going to be just outside of our hips. And then we're going to reach to the side with one arm, and then we're going to guide it with our other hand. Slight bend and get stretched through our armpit into our hip. We're going to do 20 seconds starting now, alternating sides. A slight bend. Reach and stretch, feel it coming through the armpit all the way down to the hip. I'm gonna do 1 more, and that's good. All right, so now we're coming into the HIIT portion of our workout. We're gonna be doing 45 seconds of work and 15 seconds of rest between each exercise. There's 6 exercises. I'm going to run through all 6 right now, demonstrating how to perform them and some variations so that you can choose the one that's best suited for you. And then we're going to go and run through 1 whole round together, and then you're going to do 1 round again on your own. So make sure that you have your timers ready, your water bottles, everything ready to go. The first exercise that we're going to do is called a pop squat, and you're going to have your hands on your hips, your feet are going to be just inside of your shoulders, and then you're going to drop down, feet outside, so soft landing, and then push back up, feet together, down and up, down and up. Now, if you can't do that one, you can do what's called our side stepping squat. So your feet would stand together, and then you would step out to the side, squat, Push back, bring your feet together, and then go to the other side. Push. So either you're going to do this one or you're going to do pop squats. So that's exercise number 1. Exercise number 2 is going to be a back step lunge. So instead of the lunges that we did in our warm-up where we're stepping forward, you're going to be stepping backwards. So keeping your chest up nice and tall, planting your toes into the ground, and pushing back into your start position. Alternating sides. Now, if you can't do that one because of balance issues, you can bring the chair in to help you, or you can do a split squat like I was showing before in the warm-up, straight up and down, or you could go into a squat position and hold, and then you're going to reach back behind you and switching legs like so. The next exercise we're going to do is called pogo jumps. So it's like you have like a pogo stick in front of you, except no pogo stick, or you can think of it like skipping rope, but you don't have a skip rope. So hands on the hips. Keep your knees as straight as you can, and soft landing. Now, that's hard on your joint. You can do smaller jumps, or you can do calf raises, standing calf raises, where you're just lifting your heels off the ground and back down. All right, this next exercise is another one you might be familiar with. We're going to be doing push-ups. You can do this from your feet on the floor, or you can do it from your feet from an elevated position like a couch, or you can be doing them from your knees. I'll show you all those variations. So for on your feet, hands just underneath shoulders, toes pointing to the ground, tuck your chin back, lower down, back up. From your knees, same thing. Knees are behind the hips, they're not directly underneath, so you keep good amount of emphasis on your upper body and your core. And again, from an elevated position, hands on the couch, nice and tall. Could do those from your knees as well. All right, the next part of our workout is going to be on our backside. We're going to do a core exercise called Flutter Kicks. So from here, you're going to have your hands up to the side to support your body, your torso, and then you're going to bring your legs out straight in front of you, point your toes, keep your lower back flat into the ground, and you're going to make small kicking motions like you're swimming in a pool. So you don't go very wide, don't go this one, just very small little kicks. Keeping your tummy nice and tight, hands up to the side to brace and support. The last exercise that we're going to do is called a rotating plank. You're going to be doing this either from your forearms and your feet, your hands and your feet, or from your hands and your knees. So for the first one, you're going to get down into that low plank position, and you're going to try and keep your toes straight forward as you rotate and twist from belly button up. This is the hardest one. The next one would be hands, and you're just going to rotate to the sky. Again, you're just going to keep your hips facing the ground and just twisting from belly button up. And you can do this from your knees. Same thing, twisting, rotating, keeping your knees and hips square to the ground. Okay, so now that we've ran through all the exercises, we're going to get into the workout. 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off. And make sure you got your timers ready, your chair if you need it, your water bottle ready. Here we go, starting in 3, 2, 1 with pop squats, go. Either this one or the step out squat. Pick one that works best for you. Good job. Almost there. Five seconds. And time. Next one is reverse lunges. Here we go. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Doing good. Stay nice and tall. Make sure your knee is stacked over top of your ankle below. 5 seconds. 1 more, and that's good. 15 seconds. We're gonna do our pogo jumps. So remember, like skipping, but without the rope, or you're doing heel raises off the ground. Ready? Let's go. Keep your knees straight. Keep your ankles a little stiff. Quick off the ground, as quick as you can. Doing good. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good job. Next one, we're going as push-ups. Do the variation that works for you. Hopefully you can see me. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Doing good. Over halfway. Five seconds. Starting now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Good job. Next one. Hopefully you can still see me. Flutter kicks. Laying on your backside. 3, 2, 1, legs straight. Small kicks. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whoo! That's a burner. All right, last one. Going into those plank rotations. Pick the variation that's toughest for you. Ready? Let's go. Ten seconds. One more. And time. 15 seconds. Starting up again with those pop squats. Let's get it. One more round. All right, the next part of our workout is going to be our balance section. We're going to have 2 exercises, going to be doing 30 seconds per side. And the first one is going to be a single leg deadlift or single leg airplane exercise. We're going to have our hands on our hips. We're going to bring our balanced leg in towards the center of our body. So in this case, it's going to be my left leg. And then you notice I'm wearing no shoes. It's so I can have better feeling with my foot on the ground. I'm going to bend forward and then I'm going to come back. I'm going to do 30 seconds, as many as I can, under control, keeping as good posture as I can. Okay, a couple more. Okay, so now I'm going to switch my sides. I'm going to bring my right leg in the middle of my body and grab the floor, bending at the waist, 30 seconds, doing as many as I can. All right, that's time. And now the next exercise we're going to do is a tandem stance exercise. So we're going to have one foot placed directly in front of the other, hands on the hips, and just holding nice and still as long as we can for 30 seconds a side. Now, if you wanted a bit more of a challenge, if that one's really easy for you, you could do it while standing on a uneven surface or unstable surface. You could do it with a pillow on the ground. 30 seconds, starting right now. Just trying to keep as stable as you can. If you found this really easy, you can challenge yourself even more by closing your eyes, and you can see that really throws you off. So do what's going to challenge you the most. We're just going to switch sides now. So see if you can do this next one. See how long you can last once you get your balance. 30 seconds starting right now. See how long you can go with keeping your eyes closed. I got to kind of check on the time though. 20 seconds. Hands on the hips, and that's time. Now we're going to move into our final high intensity piece and see where we are at with our mountain climbers and see how well we've progressed. We're going to do a minute of mountain climbers and see how many reps that we can get. We're going to start, so get into position. We're going to start here in about 10 seconds. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. In 10 seconds here. Almost there. I lost track. 3, 2, 1. Time. Great job, everyone. Nice work. All right, now we're gonna move into the cool down. We are wrapping things up. Great job, everyone. So now we're gonna do what's called a seated figure four. This is for your hips. So you're gonna take one leg, you're gonna sit your ankle on top of your knee. Now, if this is hard, you can always move the leg that's on the ground a little bit further away and then kind of walk it into where you can get a stretch. But then from here, you're gonna sit up nice and tall, guide your knee down. You can also lean forward a little bit to get a bit more of a stretch, minimum 30 seconds on each side. Okay, switch up. And guiding the knee down, slight bend forward, chest up nice and tall. You could be doing this sitting on a bench like I am, or sitting on a couch, or sitting on a chair, or sitting on your bed. Whatever you got around you to sit on. 5 more seconds. That's good. Okay, the next one, don't need the bench for. Scoot it out of the way. It's called a runner's lunge. So, getting down, I'm gonna bring one foot outside your hand. Back leg, the knee can be on the ground or off the ground. I'm gonna do with mine with the knee on the ground, chest up nice and tall. Trying to keep the knee stacked over top. We're gonna get a stretch through inner hip and just on the back side of the thigh. Let's switch it up. Chest up nice and tall. Again, knee over top of the ankle. Ten more seconds. And that's good. Okay, next one, laying on your backside. Doing a lying hamstring. You can do this with the knee bent and foot flat, that's a bit easier. Leg straight, it's a bit harder. And you want to be getting enough of a stretch that you're not feeling any strain or burning. So if you grab up higher, you can have a bit more leverage. If you grab a little bit lower, it's easier. And again, foot bent is easier. We're going to go for the 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switching sides. Legs straight. Again, if you grab by the calf, just don't pull so hard that you're feeling strain at the back of the knee or that you're feeling a burning sensation going up. Like, should feel like a good stretch. Just gently guiding it into position. 10 seconds. Three, 2, 1. That's good. Next one we're going to go into is a downward dog. So basically we're moving into a push-up position and then pushing our hips up into the sky. And then we're going to go into a pedal with our back feet to stretch out the calves from all the pogo jumps we did. So just dropping one heel down at a time, 15 seconds. Trying to press up our hips to the sky. 5 seconds. And time. Next one I'm gonna go into is to stretch out the chest and the shoulders. You can use a couch, a bed, a bench, or a chair. You're just bringing your arm up on to the bench, and then you're just gonna be on all fours and just guide your body down so that you get a stretch to the chest and the shoulders, holding here for 30 seconds. Ten more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That's good. Switching sides. "30 seconds, starting now. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, one more to go. This is our final stretch. We're here using the bench, and I'm gonna place my elbows up onto my bench or chair, couch, bed, whatever, and then I'm just going to get my elbows in, and I'm gonna sit my hips back, trying to flatten out my back as much as I can while my elbows are up. So I should feel this through the middle of my back and through my armpits. Again, trying to sit my hips back, trying to keep my, not arching through my lower back, just trying to keep it tucked in a bit more as I sit my hips back towards my heels. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And that is it, everyone. Round of applause for you. Great job. Hope you had a great workout. Hope you have an amazing spring. Take care of yourselves, and we'll hope to see you soon. Bye for now.